Hi everybody, I'm the SOLIDWORKS nerd and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to work on the Model Mania 2017 solution. Model Mania is the competition that happens every year at SOLIDWORKS World to see who can model a part the fastest, change it the fastest, and simulate it the fastest. So I know there's already a solution out there, but I wanted to go over the solution with you guys and then commentate on some of the nuances that they did. So their solution is very efficient, but you need some settings enabled, and we're going to go over that right now. So without further ado, let's just boot up a new part. That'll do. And one of the nuances that he uses the S key to bring the super shortcut up. Now when you press this key, it's already loaded with some goodies for you to pick from, but the one that I added in, and yes, you can add stuff in the menus, I added the begin sketch right on the S key, so you can use that to your advantage. So you can click front, new, and then you have that. And actually, let's set this to millimeters, front, like that. So another thing that he has is, you see that this little blue box that is like you can type into. Well, on some people's SOLIDWORKS, that's not enabled by default. So to play around with it, go to Sketch, you go Option Sketch, Enable on-screen numeric input on entity creation. So I'll show you what it looks like without it. So it doesn't give you that. So to dimension it, you'll have to get your Smart Dimension tool out, which is fine. It's actually still pretty fast. So I'll go delete that. So let's go turn it back on and use it to our advantage. So sketch, that, okay, that, 16, and I believe it was 65. And exit sketch. Another thing that he had on was Instant 3D. This little arrow dude he uses to bring out the part so quickly. So if that's not enabled, you won't have that little speed boost right there. So, yep, that's another thing. Alright, so you just drag that out, make that 15, and there you go. And then he just goes and, not edit sketch, but he starts a new sketch just like that. And then one of the first things you want to do is convert entities, because it'll provide a relation later, and I'll tell you what that is. But we'll have that center line, and we can just do the same thing, align the relation up like that, 22 for the 44 millimeter bolt circle, hit escape, and bring that guy up, 7, there you go, just like that. And now that you have that guy there, you can do that, and you get the little yellow coincident thing, which is going straight through the center. That's what we want, and that's what fully defines it, and why we don't need a radius on that arc, well, the arc that's about to exist right now. So you have the line tool, and the trick that he shows you is that you go back onto the end of the point and you just drag it right out, and you get a tangent arc. So then you lay that one down, and then you wait for the tangency just like that. And just to clean it up, we'll get the symmetric relation just like that. And that was 45 degrees. And the last bit is that, and that will make them concentric. And that fully defines it. And this arc is fully defined because these two lines go through this point. If you extend it out far enough, they both go through this point, and they are tangent, and it is locked in place by sharing the same center as this circle right here. So that's pretty neat. So what we can do, we can go out of the sketch, we can use our S shortcut, go to extrude cut. Oh, actually, forgot to trim it up. So you trim that up. There you go. Exit sketch. pick that, and then from the right click menu you can go offset from surface, pick that guy, and instead of 1 you do 3, just like that. So you have that thing, and from this point you can do a mirror, but when part 2 comes along, and that's like the funny thing about Model Mania, is that sometimes you just have to have good intuition or just see the future, so you don't use a mirror but use a circular pattern, because instead of 2, part 2 has 3 instances. So we're going to use a circular pattern here. So we'll go under there. See, that little tool just has everything. So pick that, and you can just pick this outer thing. So instead of 4, we just want 2. Just like that. And then after that, we can go get a shell, like that. Instead of 1, we want 3, but we also need to select this back face, but we also need to select this face so it gets removed. Just like that. Looks pretty cool, right? And then what we can do is he uses breadcrumbs, but another thing is he gets the breadcrumbs thing right to his cursor, and the way you do that is you click and you hit D, which brings it straight to the cursor. So with that, so click D, sketch, and then you can combo it right into the S shortcut, extrude, but we just want not one contour, so it needs to get out. I want that. So then we can right click and change the end condition through all both, just to make sure nothing bad happens. So we have that, and then we can go S shortcut again, circular pattern, that's the feature, that's the round thing, and we want 4. Just like that, except that's another thing. If you have geometry pattern on, it won't punch all the way through. So there you go. Make sure geometry pattern is off. Then we're almost done. The last thing we need is the fillet, and of course, you guessed it, S, fillet, this guy. And the reason he picks so many edges so quickly is this context toolbar that pops up, and he just picks all concave edges. Just like that. And right before, we'll set it to the right size. And okay, and I could have done that from the right click menu too, to just be a little bit quicker than that. So, and just to show off to us all, he actually goes ahead and changes the color from the graphics window to make it faster. Fillet. And we can be orange. Alright, and then of course change the material to plain carbon steel. Another thing that he had it in his favorites too. And there's round 1 basically, or phase 1 I should say. Looks pretty good, and I'll go ahead and save this and I'll put it on GrabCAD if people want to play around with it. Save. So now we're gonna go ahead and do the changes. So the first thing he goes for is the one on the number of instances of holes. So he goes like this. Instead of 4, we have 6 of them now. Just like that. Pretty simple, and since they're all through all no boundary condition, no geometry pattern, I mean, then that part solves out very easily. So that's good and all. And I'm gonna go ahead and roll back so we don't have to deal with broken fillets while we do this next part. And we're going to deal with this circular pattern. So now there's 3. So those of you who did a mirror like I did, we found ourselves in a little bit of trouble when that part came up. So then there's that. That's all dandy. And then he goes to this shell. Oops, that's not the right thing. Not suppress. Then he goes to the shell. He edits the feature, removes this face. So I thought this solution is really smart. I like it a lot. So there he has this part done, and now comes a pretty special part. So he does a delete and patch on these curvy faces on the inside here. And I didn't understand how he got to it so fast at first. And the thing is, at least on my build of SOLIDWORKS, my installation, it was not enabled by default. So what he did was right click, faces option, and he had delete face right there. So the way you enable it is right click, and at first it wasn't there for me. So just go all the way down, keep going, customize menu. So face, there's delete. I just click that check. You can also click other things if you want to. So there's that. So that's how he gets to it so fast. So right click, delete face, and he just simply selects all these faces one by one. No big deal there. Yeah, make sure don't select these faces over here, and make sure this is on delete and patch. And the thing is, like, another reason why I was able to solve that out so quickly too was because this command remembers the last option you used. So if you were using delete and fill, if you were doing a surface model, then you would have to move your mouse all the way over here, switch it, and then hit the check mark. So yeah, I know they definitely had it set up that way, so the explanation would be very quick, not take too much time out of the general session. But it's good to know these things. But anyway, let me click this. Yeah, isn't that is so cool? Honestly, so fast. Cool stuff. So now at this point, we have to repair our fillet. We unsuppress, and we can see that it's unhappy with us. That's fine. And very smart thing, he just clears selection, and the same pattern goes for all of this. It's all the concave edges, and just like that, he fixes the fillet. And that's the end of phase 2, actually. So now we go on to the simulation part. So I go over here, and you can just do that with Simulation Express Analysis, just like that. And I just went through this, even though you can go through here actually. So let me do it that way. So fixtures, fixed geometry. We want that, and that to be fixed. Hit OK. External loads, force. That, and that. Selected direction, and he picked this face in the video. I don't know if this is a bug on my build, but it's not letting me select it. But you can just get around that by hitting the front plane. There you go. And those are pointing the wrong way. So reverse direction, and we want 800 newtons per item. Just like that. And then we have all the things we need to run. That looks pretty good to me. So results, and you just go to factor of safety, and he found the factor of safety of 2.8, and I have 2.7 something there. So there you have it, folks. That is Model Mania 2017 with my commentary on it. So this has been the SOLIDWORKS Nerd. Have a good day.